Alright, our next story in Spooky Hallows is of I'm sorry, the mosquitoes again. They love my blood. Anyways, is about a love story that turns a little tragic, but it's supposed to be a spooky story. Anyways, I call this the Hangman. Anyways, a long time ago, there was a prince named Michael, and there was a girl named Michaela. She was of the woods people. They used to call her a witch, but she really wasn't a witch. She used to hide her identity because she was half fae. So she stayed away from the village, and her mom lived in a cottage. And they pretty much kind of didn't follow the rules of society because they grew their own food, did their own thing, and they were in parts of the village that people didn't really care about because they were cursed parts because the fae was there. So one day Michael went out hunting, as every young prince does, and enjoyed himself and all that, and he seen her. And they made their own clothes, but she was very beautiful. She had long blonde hair and blue eyes, and her and her mom would constantly just be going through the woods because that's what fays did. So he would constantly, when he seen her, he tried to call out to her, but she ran. So every day, he finally found her the one day. And she was getting water for her cottage and her people. And when she did that, they talked, and she told him that she can't be with him. And there was secrets she held that he didn't need to know, but she would be dangerous to him. So of course he sat there literally and told her that he was the prince, and she said that she was sorry, she had to decline. So every day he went on a hunt looking for Michaela. So anyways, the one day, pretty much she was a fae princess, and the elves came to him in his room because he was always looking for her, and they didn't like human folks coming through. Even though she was a half fae, they considered her a princess. So anyways, they heed the warnings and told him that he has to leave her alone. He pretty much told the dark elves that he thought he was dreaming, and said that was going to be his wife. And they said that he needed to stay away. So time went on, he looked for her again. She wasn't very reluctant to see him or anything. She just wanted to be by herself. He begged and begged and begged for her attention. And she just said, there's some things you don't understand. So time went past again, she hid, and he was still looking for her. And the full moon came. And it was the harvest of the fae, the witches, and everything. And he came out to the forest, And when he came out to the forest, he seen all the witches in a circle and seen her in the middle of them, and he got mad. He thought they were trying to hurt her. So, of course, being a prince and thinking that he owns everything and he's important, he literally went and he tried to kill all the witches. And he did end up killing one of the witches. And it wasn't good. It didn't go good for him. They were all angry. So the witches had a vendetta against him. So anyways, he was at his castle. They was, he was actually going to be king. And at his coronation, it ended up that he just had a lot of bad things happening to him. Because he forgot about how he killed the witch and everything. So at the coronation, when that happened, his dad ended up dying right as he was getting coronated. Everybody was devastated to the kingdom. They were looking for Michaela. Michaela just stayed well hidden. And after that day, when he would sleep, he would have nightmares of the witch that he killed. And literally every day he was having these nightmares, and the witch warned him and said that her death was going to be only the first. So he ended up having to marry somebody because his dad died, and his uncle ended up dying in a hunting accident, and he was the only one. So he got married. Still never seen Michaela, but always felt a longing for her, but didn't know why. There's a squirrel there. But anyways, then time went on, and they ended up having a boy. The wife ended up dying. His son ended up dying. And he was still the only one left. There was no blood heir, no nothing. So anyways, one day Michaela popped up, but she looked different. She had dark eyes. And that was like when he was at his very, very lowest. Oh, here's some ducks. We're lucky today. Anyway, and then he asked her, he goes, why that he was crying? Because his wife was dead. His son was dead. His whole family was dead. The kingdom was in shambles. And she even said, she goes, I was promised to the Dark Lord. And I didn't get to go there. And out of all of his desperation, he said that he still wanted to be with her. He was grieving his son, but he wanted a son with her, and she said that she couldn't. But she told him that he needed that if there was nothing she could do with what was going to happen to him. So one day in his sleep, even with the guards watching, he just disappeared. And he was in the witch's circle the one day. And through the night, obviously tied up, because the witches were planning to sacrifice him. And he was screaming and seen her with the black eyes. And she said, I wouldn't have, since I didn't get to ascend, the only thing I could do is sacrifice you